Hello everyone, my name is Lowko and welcome to another StarCraft 2 video. Now what I got for you today is a Platinum League match of a viewer submitted game of Terran versus Protoss. And I have to be honest, all of the recent games that I've casted of viewer submitted matches, they have all been top notch. Maybe not necessarily as far as like the skill level goes, but definitely as far as the entertainment value goes, right? Some of the games have been absolutely hilarious, so I hope that this game is gonna be similar as well. Spawning here in the top right-hand corner of Lost and Found and playing with the red Protoss probes, we have none other than Phantom Nicked, although I'm assuming that has to be a typo. That's probably on purpose. Anyway, we must have none other than Phantom Knight. And his opponent spawning in the bottom left-hand corner. The man is literally a tongue twister. We have none other than the blue Terran player who goes by the nickname of Peter Piper. Well, I guess that kind of means we have arrived at the point of the video where I make a fool out of myself. I mean, we have a tongue twister right here. Should I give it a try? I'm pretty sure it's Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers, right? I'm pretty sure that's it. Except that obviously you have to say it much faster than that. Okay, you ready for it? Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. Ooh, that was not actually even that bad. Huh. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. I'm kind of sounding as... It kind of sounds as if I'm saying peppers rather than peppers. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. That's not bad. Actually, I assumed I would do much worse. All right, I'm gonna go with that one. Anyways, here we do have the Terran player though spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, already going. This is kind of what the Platinum League games oftentimes look like. I feel like Platinum League is kind of the point on the ladder where you can still sort of mess around. You can, for example, delay your orbital for no apparent reason, but you're kind of supposed to play a build that is very, very common. Obviously, the skill difference between like Platinum 3 and Platinum 1 is very significant as well. I feel like in Gold League and in Silver League and obviously in Bronze League, you have a lot of room to just simply mess around. I kind of feel like in Diamond League and Master, you kind of lose that ability unless you do it absolutely perfectly. In Platinum League, though, you're kind of in that intersecting point where you definitely want to play something that looks very normal, but that may not necessarily use the exact same route of getting there. And that is more so, obviously, for Platinum 3 than Platinum 1, but still, I'm curious to see what both players decide to bring to the table. I wouldn't be surprised if it's going to be at least something relatively normal. Now, this is already, this is one of those things. If you're a Terran player out there and you're not entirely sure what to do, make an orbital command every time you have a command center. There should be absolutely zero reason to have just a plain command center without an orbital, unless you plan on like flying it across to like another location and then, morphing it into an orbital command at a later time. Or for example, not an orbital, sorry, a planetary fortress at a later time. Anyway, first Reaper made his way across, so did get a couple of probe kills here. Does look like we actually, we have an SCV casualty there, but the probe already paid for that one with its life as well. Peter is now following this up with more Marines, but also a third Reaper. So that Jetpack Raider will shortly come out of this barracks too. One of the key characteristics of Reapers, and this is actually a little known fact, so don't tell anyone, but before Reapers are allowed to leave the barracks, they actually have to take a bath in Vaseline. Because they are so slippery, man. Every time I play a Terran versus Zerg, and I get a full surround. I kid you not, if I get a full surround with Zerglings on a Reaper, and my Zerglings do not have speed, for some reason, as soon as one of the Zerglings lift up one of its legs, the Reaper just somehow, some way, slicks underneath it. I don't know how it happens. It's just one of the things that happens every single time. Well, the second Reaper, already going for the second kill now. I guess it's trying to outdo its partner. There we go. It's got a third kill already. May very well be going for the fourth, although, well, this one may be greased up. But it's not quite going to be enough. Nope. Phantom Knight will be able to get this around there with the probes, but I do think he ended up losing 5 workers there. 5 workers at this point in the game? That's what I'm talking about. There's no one in Diamond League that would allow this to happen. But I kind of feel like you can get away with it at this level of play. Already though, even though Peter Piper is not playing a relatively normal build, he's trying, but he's very late with the expansion, and he still doesn't have an orbital and all that. He is doing a lot of damage here with the Reapers, which definitely still puts him in a relatively good position. Well, there we go. Couple of gateways have now finished up. Phantom Knight decided to go for the Twilight Council. He's now going straight into the Templar Archives as well. He did not get... No, he did get charged, but he did not get the Glaives upgrade. Pretty interesting that he decided to get charged and then warps in a bunch of adepts. I guess he meant to maybe get like a robotic facility and then maybe like a war prism to move across the map with. At this point, no, he does know that his opponent didn't go for a fast expansion, and he already had to deal, I guess, with a bunch of these Reapers as well, so maybe he's just in a bit of an awkward spot. Speaking of the robotics facility, though, it's just about to finish up. I would like him to maybe, yeah, I would like it actually if he gets like a War Prism out. I do think that's a really good option. The Adepts were now faced off against a couple of Marines and then a set of Marauders here too, obviously. They're going to be more than enough. Reaper, though, once again, going back in. This one is trying to one-up its brothers. Number 1 had 2 kills. Number 2 had 3 kills. This one's looking for the 4th one. Will he be able to get the 4th kill? He's already at 3 kills right now. With a little bit of target firing, I think he should be able to. Although, target firing is not quite where you want it to be at this point in the game. Still, he's currently being chased around. I kind of feel like these Reapers, though, are making it so that... Nope, he's not quite gonna get the 4th kill there. But it feels like these Reapers are kind of making it so that Phantom Knight is forced to pull all of these Adepts back. Obviously, he already faced off against these Marines and Marauders. But it does feel like he kind of wanted to sit back there for a little while longer and maybe just contain the Terran opponent for a bit as well. To see if, you know, they're gonna make a bit of a move for it as well. But... anyways, War Prism now finally moving across the map. It's a little bit later than you ideally wanted to, but then again, obviously this Terran player is still sitting on only a single command center. Get your orbital out, dude. Peter, you made it to Platinum League? Why are you... Every time I cast one of these games, by the way, I notice that there's always like... at least, I would say at least a third or so of the comments on the video is like, oh, Lowko, there's no way these guys are Platinum League. If you scroll down right now, you can probably already find a couple of them. This is just kind of how it is, guys. I know that you can technically get like a portrait border as well if you are ranked in team leagues, but I'm pretty sure Blizzard removed that with the recent seasons. So I'm pretty sure they only show you the 1-versus-1 border right now when queuing up for a game. So, I mean, I just looked at the replay. This is a very recent game. It was played, I believe, just a couple of days ago in the most recent patch of SC2. There's no denying that they are indeed in Platinum League. Whether or not you like it... whether or not you might be a literal god in Gold League and you play better than these guys, doesn't really matter all too much because they're still in Platinum League. Anyways, that was awkward. I mean, these Marines, they must be having these patches on the side of their helmet or something that doesn't allow them very much peripheral vision. It looks like they completely missed the fact that a bunch of Zealots were just over the hill there. But it does mean we have a bit of an awkward scenario now. There is Storm available. These Storms obviously, oh yeah, no, if they are gonna land like that, they will be able to deal a huge amount of damage. There is Combat Shield, but no Stimpack right now. Another, it's gonna have to morph in the Archon here. But another massive Storm there does definitely hurt a lot of those units, as if he's actually getting a couple of kills as well. But at the same time, the Marines and Marauders made their way across the map. Peter Piper looking for his pickled peppers. Apparently, he's convinced that it's over at the natural of the Protoss player. He does have a very menacing force, but he's already losing pretty much everything that he had on the other side of the map as well. War Prism is still around, obviously, with a little bit of micro. He could easily get all of these units out of there as well, even if he did not quite get the good kill. But the thing is, Peter Piper at this point, he's killing a lot, but he's only got 2 worker units remaining, only 2 SCVs. If Phantom Knight goes for the mass recall right now, I actually think he can easily go ahead and defend against the majority of this. Particularly now with additional High Templar out, although they don't have a lot of energy just yet. Peter Piper did decide to actually split off part of his army, so they're actually coming back across the map to try and save these last 2 remaining SCVs that are huddled in the corner. Phantom Knight did get his 3rd Nexus during all of that, and here we do see, well, the last of the... oh man, these Protoss units are super dead. Well, Phantom Knight is now looking around. He finally found those SCVs. He only really has 2 High Templar and a Dream. He's also got a War Prism there. 1 Storm, very good. 2nd Storm, very good. Ooh. All right. I don't know why Peter Piper didn't get himself Stimpack. Stimpack is a pretty good upgrade, guys. It's kind of like Metabolic Boost in a way. Now, don't get me wrong. Orbital, or rather Combat Shield is pretty nice too. So is +1/+1 infantry weapons, but... oh man, so is an Orbital Command. Peter Piper not really doing anything but Marines and Marauders. And Combat Shield, and +1/+1. He moved out when 1-1 finished, which I do really like, but I would have loved it even more if he had queued up. For example, Stimpack, or maybe followed it up with like a command center on the low ground, or maybe even get himself, for example, a couple of Medivacs out. Medivacs would be absolutely phenomenal. Alright, so let's get this straight. Currently, at this point in the game, there are 12 Marines, 2 Marauders. Peter Piper's army is doubling that of his opponent. He's doubling that of his opponent. Now, Peter Piper is currently looking around the map here. One SCV, or rather one Marine was split off. The other group of Marines and Marauder here were also split off to go after this third Nexus. There is indeed that very small Protoss army here still on the other side. The High Templar actually doing the one thing that Blizzard did not really attend when they gave it an auto attack. Look how little damage that does. Isn't that pathetic? Seriously, isn't that little attack there pathetic? Look at the damage there. It deals 3 damage per attack. Phantom Knight does still have quite a lot of resources, though. He's still sitting on 1,300 minerals. He's now actually trying to put up a couple of gateways here in the top left-hand corner. One Marine just barely, well, I mean, he saw that. Yeah, it just barely walked past it, but it did just spot the radius there of the outer line at the very least of the gateway, which should make this relatively okay. Here we go, though. Peter Piper once again moving some of that army back home. Another money storm. One of the zealots charging forward. Oh, dude. That High Templar has 27 kills. I was making fun of that little attack move, but the man has just tirelessly been slicing away, or I guess shooting away with a pathetic Kamehameha at that reactor, and then it casually landed another storm to bring the total up to, well, actually, no. I thought it had like 27 kills. I think that was the amount of energy I was looking at. But regardless, it still does have 16 kills, which is way more than a High Templar should ideally get. His brother in arms, or I guess his one brother in arms, it did die. He desperately wanted to become an Archon. Never will be, judging by the amount of units that are out right now. But regardless, there's no denying that these High Templar have been very, very good for Phantom Knight at this point. Now, here's one nasty thing that Terran players have, and I know this feeling very well whenever I do play in these kind of like base race scenarios against the Terran. They can lift up their structures, right? And some people call this BM. I think it's just, it makes sense. Why would you not lift up your structures if you can? Hanging them in a corner of a map is totally cool. Now, Peter Piper, he's got 45 minerals. Peter Piper has 45 minerals and a dream, but he can't make an SCV. He currently has no SCVs. All he has is 6 Marines and 1 Marauder. Phantom Knight now, though. He's mining. Oh my god. Are you kidding me? Did these SCV... Oh, they didn't see that. They literally just checked most bases. Yeah, Peter Piper's now even scouting with all of the buildings. Oh my god, he now noticed that there is indeed a pylon across, but he must have gotten the message that there was no revelation available yet, right? Phantom Knight, though? He does just barely have more, yeah, there we go. He just barely has more army supply right now. I was looking at this and I was thinking that Peter Piper with his Pickled Pepper was going to be in a much better spot. Trying his very best there to just simply, clean up the last of the Protoss structures. But, oh, dude. Peter! Did you get some of that pickle juice in your eyes or something? Man, none of these units seem to really spot particularly well what's going on. Well, Peter is still going to continue onwards. Trying to go after all of these robotics facilities right now too, and basically all of the structures that he has seen. He's seen practically the whole map. Look at that, right? You can see where he's looked during the entirety of this match. Now, you will find another pylon or another probe rudder here in the top left-hand corner with the barracks. This is literally the last base, the only dark area on the map. And it's only the only spot where Phantom Knight has got some of his last dreams. I actually think right now, if Peter Piper finds this, he could actually still... it's a tricky one, though. That is... Well, that's one hero High Templar, right? That one is like the rank of an executor right now. Tessadar would be proud. Phantom Knight apparently mostly just doing this for style points. He can't actually warp in very much, although he did just... Yeah, he did just start up a couple of gateways. He will still need a cyber core, though, before he can get anything that shoots up. I kind of feel like these units, though, of Protoss are baiting the Terran towards the last of their structures. If these units fight off against each other, it's kind of hard to say, right? Who would win? 4 Zealots or 1 Marauder and 3 Marines? The High Templar is really slow. If the High Templar is added to that mix, actually, it could change the tide of battle as well if it accidentally storms, like, the Zealots at this point. I guess the Marines and Marauder right now are looking to go after the final pylon here in the bottom section of the map. The thing is, though, that Phantom Knight is slowly regaining a lot of his economy. Peter Piper still has a bunch of structures floating off in the corners of the map. But looking at this, right, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure he's got this one in the bag, right? Phantom Knight, that is. Phantom Knight, he only needs to get a couple of flying units. And this base not scouted for a little while longer. Well, there we do see an additional group of zealots. Oh, Phantom Knight almost getting the War Prism there. But, I mean, right now, right, with Phantom, or rather Peter Piper almost got the War Prism there. I feel like the only thing that Peter Piper right now needs to do is find these last buildings and try to gun them down before a bunch of Stalkers can come out. But at this point, yeah, there we go. Stalkers are being warped in somewhere around here. Oh, actually, they were... I clicked on the production tab. Normally, it jumps towards that. Unless it's really nearby. But anyways, the Stalkers are now out. He will go after the barracks right now as well. And judging by this, right, I can imagine that Peter Piper has realized that the army of the Protoss player is slowly growing. Peter is desperately trying to put all of the structures in the outermost corners of the map. Probably using the mini-map right now to try and put them as far away from any other location as possible. And Peter Piper now, though, he set forth an expedition towards the northern end of the map. And finally, the barracks found the base that he needed to see about, I don't know, 5 minutes ago. Peter's army was significantly better. He checked every single location on the map. And even though we did have some money storms there, all things considered, I feel like Peter Piper was the one who should be able to obtain the victory. Now, I hope that you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button down below. And if you want to see more, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you get a notification as soon as I upload more. Special shout out to the Patreon supporters. You guys are awesome. But for now, I want to thank you for watching. Have an amazing day. Do not forget to smile, alright? And I will see you in the next one.